And a good morning to you. Welcome inside the bottom line, the freezing, frosty bottom lines. You can see by my partner over here with his beanie still on. And your eyes do not deceive you. It is a rare Friday morning appearance by the man, the myth, the legend, Full Rembert. I have promoted that all week, that the legend would be in here with me on Friday morning. Rare Friday morning treat, and it's game day. It's game day today.
Yes, it is. Holy
and
cow.
He's still in here on a Friday.
Absolutely,
that's dedication right there.
Absolutely.
I don't care what you say. That's dedication. Any way you slice
So we don't eat. I don't eat on game days until after the game at Wayne's tonight.
Really?
Yeah. So what I try to do is, and this is crazy, but I listened to this guy years ago, one of the coordinators in college team. They asked him, said, "How, he's kind of a big guy like me, right? He obviously likes to eat, right?" He said what he tried to do is clear all the carbs out of his system for like 24 hours so he could, so he could think better. Well, yeah, I'm up for anything. So I don't know if it's actually helping, but we're winning. So I'm the guy that wears the same socks. You know what I'm saying, right? So I don't know if it's really helping from clearing the carbs out and making good decisions, but I'm kind of like superstitious. So it's hard to do, but I can tell you, I will do it again. I just have to drink a lot of these during the day.
Do you know what my pregame meal was when I was playing?
Oh, man. What's that?
My pregame meal, we would go, me and a buddy of mine, another lineman, we would go to Black's Grill in Cherry.
Oh, yeah,
okay?
yeah, absolutely.
And have a big greasy Lottaburger. That was the pregame meal on Friday, about 4:30.
What a great place to eat.
And my daddy, bless his heart, my daddy would always buy and keep, I love Hershey bars, and he would keep Hershey bars, and I'd eat a pretty good handful of those before the game start just to load up on the carbs and sugar.
I can see. No, hold on. I'm just looking. So the post, when you put out about your dad, whether it's his birthday or, just an occasion, all kidding aside, like when I do this, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Yes, it is.
I would love to have known him.
He was the man. He was old school, old truck driver.
That's what I'm saying. I would really like to have known him.
Yep. And,
but I'm thankful I get to know you, Laney.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I'm excited that every time I bitch about Maiden, and then I tell Kim, it's really not that bad.
What the heck? No, man. I got to tell you, obviously didn't grow up here, not from here, and I was late to my interview here 30 years ago or 20, whatever it was, because I didn't know how to get here, and 321 wasn't open yet.
The new 321.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm like 20 minutes late, and I told Debbie Long, I said, Miss Long, I am so sorry. She worked with my dad for years at Fred T. Ford, before she became principal of Maiden. I said, I didn't know how to get here. She started laughing. She said, honey, it took me 3 years after working at Ford to make sure I made all the right turns on the back roads. But all kidding aside, I wasn't born here.
Yeah.
But I can tell you this, I'll die here.
Yeah.
And I may go on vacation here or there, or go hang out here or there, but all kidding aside, I will die here. I love this place with all my heart, and I love the people.
But you know what? Because I'm going to be roasted and toasted, I won't be buried here because I ain't going to be buried.
Where are they going to dispose of you?
They're split amongst my family, my wife and kids.
But what are they going to do after that? Just hang out with it?
I don't care. Yeah. I ain't here. Ain't going to matter.
Mandy and I have this thing about, one of we had a cat that a couple years ago that passed away. We always said that if Mandy passed away and we put her ashes up, up there, that the cat would knock them over and go over and use them as a litter box, because Mandy and that cat, Mandy loved that cat, but that cat hated her. The girl cat, she was all like about me.
Yeah.
Boy, she didn't like Mandy. Well, she'd just stare at her like this, and I walk in and she'd walk over to me and just fluff it. And all. You know what I'm saying?
Do not like a cat. Don't trust a cat. If a cat had thumbs, they'd kill you during the night.
No, man, mine are good, man. I'm like tight with my.
Milton, good morning. Matt Hendrick said, good luck tonight.
Thank you, Matt.
Richie, good morning. Jeff Meadows, good morning. Rich said he loves some Black's Grill, the mince barbecue sandwich.
Absolutely.
Babe Ruth said to eat a porterhouse steak, potatoes, and 4 to 6 beers before.
Well, he had to get loose.
Yeah.
Hey, Todd, we all get loose different ways, right? That may be the way.
Thank you, Milton. Milton said LC4 was a great man. My dad My dad and Milton bumped heads a few times because Dad was chairman of the board of directors for the fire department. Milton was chief.
Oh, yeah.
And Daddy was there when they laid the block, when they started it. He
Awesome.
was one of the first. Richie said they're spreading his ashes around Disney World. That's not happening. Jeff said tons of high school football tonight. Richie said good luck to you and the Blue Devils tonight.
Thank you. Can I just take 1 second?
Absolutely.
Okay, so earlier this week, Quinn signed his national letter of intent. And just saying that, I want to thank all of our friends and, all the people that sent things and just nice comments, especially people that watch this show. And, I talked to Quinn's friends while he was there, and I told them, I said, guys, yes, he works extremely hard, and yes, he is very dedicated and very serious about what he wants to do. About things he wants to do and things he wants to accomplish. But, the one thing that can't be discounted in that is the people of influence around him. His mother and I, we like to laugh and have fun and joke around, but we're very serious people, and we're very serious about raising our children and very serious about the people and our friends, in this community and
the influential
and who he's around. And I can't thank everybody enough. Jeff, Milton, Richie, Andrew. I mean, and there's many, many more. But the reason I want to say that is because it is recognized and appreciated by Quinn and our family. How much love and support, and Laney, you and Ken. I mean, just and it's a very genuine, very heartfelt love that we receive from you all, and that we hope that you receive from us.
Yeah, these folks understand.
Thank you, everyone.
These folks understand, especially when you talk about family and kids. Kids are very impressionable. So who they're surrounded by are very important in how they pick up their values, how they view people, treat people, that type thing. And there's an old saying that it takes a village to raise a kid. And it really does, because they need that kind of support and input to round them, and make them. And I'm the same way with my kids. I've told people forever. I've got 5, and I couldn't be prouder of my kids and how they've turned out. And it wasn't all because of us. I mean, it's about the people that they've been associated with and the things that they've done. So that was great news when I saw that, and that is huge to be able to celebrate that with your kids and your family. And so, I saw a lot of the posts from the people that are on here. That's why I do this. I mean, this is my release. This is my unwind. Right. I got people out there that I'm friends with, and I hook up with new people that I don't know.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that are on here that are like people I've known for 20 years that I've never met in person.
Right.
You
but
only know them through
it's
here.
still important, though.
Sure it is.
And
it's still a relationship.
Point, yes. Yeah. And that's, people talk about the internet and all that, it's terrible. And there's always good
all
and
what you
bad.
do with it.
Right. But it's perspective, too. Yep. And how do you utilize it for the good of something, or the intent to be for the good of it, right? And this is one of those situations. I mean, there were over like 600 responses just by copying and pasting that.
Oh, yeah.
I was overwhelmed. I mean, at 200, is overwhelming.
Nope,
but
I get it.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you, everyone. That was very kind.
I get it.
And Quinn's very appreciative, too.
Richie, you're exactly right. And I've seen it. Alan, good morning. I don't know if you've been to downtown Lincoln lately. They do the memorial and honor.
It's incredible. We stopped and read each one.
Richie's dad is up on that, and I know a lot of the people that are up there. I had someone I wanted to put up there, and they chose not to, and I honored their wishes. My dad, I would put my dad up there, but I don't have a picture that I'm aware of from when he was in service, because that would have been around 19. I got to think about this a minute. That would have been around 1944, 45 when he was in.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad was already gone.
Right.
So I don't know. Todd said Maiden does a lot of things right. None more important than being a great place to raise a family. Quinn's a great example of that. And
do you know that? And I don't know if you know, but Quinn serves. Todd had talked to him, actually me and Mandy about 6-7 months ago. But Quinn serves on an advisory board as a community person.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so he goes. I think they had a meeting yesterday, but they talk about the future of Maiden and the building things that are going on, and just having input.
All input and perspectives are good.
But I talked to Quinn about it. I said, Todd has come to me and asked me, and Todd needed I think they needed some kids, and there's a lot of really good ones in town that have that vision, that know that this is probably where they want, in the area where they want to be, regardless of what they're doing. And Quinn, and I got to tell you, he's very serious about that. I didn't know how he would, it's his first time looking at something like that. And he saw me years ago serve on council, like I had him holding the Bible, or not hold, but stand up there with me, that kind of thing. But the whole point is you talking about, trying to, make the community better and doing things. We, not just Quinn, we have a lot of kids that are, that are serious about where they live and want to try to, make this place. And we've got serious leaders like Todd, for example, that is serious as well about getting those serious young people in to make sure that one day when he retires, which is going to be a long time from now.
Yeah,
all right,
he's got too many kids.
But that things are able to continue and be sustainable, and the quality of life. And I'm thankful for that.
Yeah. Now, Uncle John, I do not know. Frank, I do know, and I haven't seen him, but there's a lot of banners, and I guess I'll have to walk the streets to really look at them and see.
We've seen them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's incredible.
Kim said she's so proud of Quinn, happy for y'all. Y'all have done a great job with your boys. And let's make sure the Devils are ready for tonight.
Hey, it's truth that math does work. 2 negatives do make a positive.
I don't know about that now. Jeff Meadows said, definitely due credit to parents, and let's say the lab is phenomenal in athletic development, and it takes the support of the parents to realize, we want to do what we can.
Right.
To help those folks out.
I think the kids have fun, too. That's the other thing. They're in their training, but it's purposeful training, and they're having fun doing it.
Alan said, huge fun weekend for him. Huge game tonight. Then his grandson Micah, former Maiden player, is getting married on Sunday to a former Bunker Hill homecoming queen. Okay.
Oh man, that wedding! Hey, let me tell you something. Whatever the outcome is, that wedding's going to be interesting.
You need to ban the beer, Alan. There could be fights depending on the game tonight.
Whoa. That's fantastic.
Yep.
Great night for both communities, though, Lanny.
Yeah.
You've been involved in both.
And it's nice. I was on staff at Bunker for a few years, so it's nice to have that close.
Golly, man, got so many friends there. I mean, Cameron Beard, of course, Alan. I mean, Randy Eckerd. Yeah, I'm going way, but what I'm saying, going back. Yeah, there's a lot of great people that, and obviously in both communities, but these are actually 2 communities that are, even though we're spread out, we are entwined. In a lot, like Coach Randy Fawcett, his dad him and my dad coached together at Fred T. Ford before Randy took the job at Bunker Hill and did such a great job all those years.
And that's who I worked for. Was Randy. Back
incredible.
In the day.
I learned so much.
Let me speaking of high school, let me give you.
Drone's got a big game tonight at Thomasville.
Yep, Jeez. And I'm going to give you my picks. That's why I said that, because I don't mind sharing my picks. Man. I don't mind sharing my picks at all.
That's huge. I think Drone's going to win that thing, man. I think they're going to get there to Mount Airy. Now, I will tell you, and of course they know this, but Eastern Randolph is pretty good. Okay, they're pretty good. But I got to tell you, Drone is one of those teams, and I keep up and talk to Chris, Powell through, texting, every week or two. And, the guys that I grew up with, like Jimmy Lambert and Tim Barus and, Yates Jensen and Chris Kozort, they're all a couple years older than me, but I grew up with those guys. I grew up in neighborhoods with them, playing ball and things like that. And I've been with them my whole life. The one thing about that team at Drone is they get better every week. They do. They have not peaked. Like and this thing has fallen into place for them. And I got to tell you, man, these guys are pretty good.
Yeah,
they're doing a great job.
Let me give you my picks for tonight. Ledford at East Lincoln. I picked East Lincoln. 35-31. I think it'll be close.
Okay.
I think it'll be close. I picked Maiden over Bunker. Reidsville over Chase. That one worries me a little bit, but it's hard to pick against Reidsville.
I didn't pick. Yeah, I picked Chase. Chase is like 12-0, and I've watched him on film video now 3 or 4 times. Now, of course, Reidsville can win. I mean, there's no doubt, but Chase is like really, really good. They are big, and they will hit you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not a lot of hitting that goes on in high school football anymore. It's more of, everything's run and, exchange arms and all that. These guys will hit.
I picked Burns over Salisbury.
Yeah.
I picked South Point over Crest.
Good pick. I did too.
Kings Mountain over West Charlotte. Kings Mountain's a real deal.
Yeah.
And I think if East wins and Kings Mountain wins, that sets up that matchup next week, I believe. Drawn at Thomasville. I went with Thomasville based on the heritage.
No. That's fair. But what I'm saying is I think Drone's going to pull this one out and impressively.
Yeah.
They're really good.
This was the other one that was tough for me. Monroe at East Surrey.
It's a good pick.
I took Monroe.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
And Trent, now let me tell you something. East Surrey's got a great team.
And it wouldn't surprise me.
No, they got a great team.
Yeah.
I watched them last Thursday night on the NFHS channel. I was able to pick it up because they played early last week. So I watched them in Hendersonville, and they're doing a great job.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you something. Monroe is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Eastern Guilford and West Henderson. I took Eastern Guilford.
Yeah.
And then the last one,
the
Butler.
Rockets.
The Butler goes to AC Reynolds, and I took AC.
The Rockets are pretty good, man.
I took AC
Reynolds.
Reynolds.
One of my very dear friends from long ago played high school baseball and football against him. He was a quarterback up there and a pitcher at AC Reynolds. Brian Craig, he played at LR, baseball at LR. He's a great player. Coached East Burke for a year or two, and then went back up to the mountains. I coached against him at AC Reynolds when I was coaching at Irwin, and we got reconnected through that. Coached state games together a couple of times. Brian, even though he's retired, is still up there, running things. Not as a head coach, but like coordinator offensively and defense. Does and I was talking to him earlier in the year, and he said, Ford, we're actually a lot better than we thought we were going to be. So they have gelled.
Yeah.
Through what they weren't sure about, but they're one of those teams too that has gotten better every week, and it's just a type of whatever. Sometimes you get a team winning, this, and every team's different. Sometimes you peak third or fourth game of the season, and you're still a good team, and you play good, and you go to second or third round and you get beat. The whole idea is to make sure that by week 8 or 9, you're still stepping up. And if you can still take that next step each week, then that gives you the greater probability of advancing to where you want to go than peaking at week 8 or 9, right? You know what I'm saying?
Lincoln and Shelby used to really be good with that because they loaded up heavy early.
Yeah.
Took their beat down.
Absolutely.
And then started growing so that when they got to the last couple weeks of the season, they were peaking.
See, I learned that early on from watching, these other successful programs and teams. So my baseball team at Maiden, it was – our state championship team in '99, I scheduled all 3A and 4A games and a 2A game in Bunker Hill. And, we go up to South, and they're ranked whatever it was in the 4A poll, and it was 2-1 going into the 7th. And, of course, they beat us 5-1, no problem. Right. Home run, whatever. Played Providence High School in Charlotte before there was Audrey Kell and the other ones, they were really big, them in South Mech. It was the Mecca. It still is, but, it's, whatever. And East Gaston took them down there and played, beat the ever-living out of them in a scrimmage game like 23-1. I mean, it's crazy stuff, just crazy. But the point is, I took some losses early on with that team to make sure we were prepared for 1A style playoffs. And people say, well, it's 1A ball. No, you got a bullet, talking about a pitcher. It could be any night. And it helped us against East Surrey to win the Western Championship to – go to the state championship. And I'm serious. I learned from Henry Jones, Bobby Reynolds, Mike Grayson, Mike Mahaffey, how to do those things. They weren't concerned about being undefeated. They were concerned about being the best team on the field at the end of the season.
At the right time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yep. Good morning, sis. Happy Friday. Charity said Allen has 2 boys that played at Bunker Hill. Richie said that's awesome, Alan. I was a guest of a friend at a wedding that the bride was a Tennessee grad and the groom was a Georgia grad. Woo!
Oh, my
That's bad.
God, dude.
Adam
That's
McCall
fantastic.
said, I installed Spectrum across from the lab the other day, and my customer had really nice things to say about both y'all. Thank you. I appreciate
We
that.
pay people a lot of money
That's
in
right.
those close businesses to
Checks in the mail.
to say nice things.
Todd thinks that the upset of the night is Chase over Reed.
I do too. Again, whatever, but I believe that. I really do.
Chad said the Rockets are the real deal.
Chad.
And
Mullis.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
Chad,
agree,
he knows.
but it will be very close talking about that upset. That's, that used to be kind of the juggernaut in 2A was you had to go through Reidsville.
And it was depending on if they were going to be in the East or West that
That's
year. You know
exactly
what I'm saying? 'Cause
right.
them and Cummings, Burlington Cummings, you never know which side they were going to go to, but now things are predetermined at the beginning of the season as far as East and West goes. The lines are drawn. This is what it is. So now we know.
I'm going to take a break, but when we come back, remind me to tell you a story about a Burlington Cummings kid back from my day, okay? I'm going to go old school on you.
Holy smokes.
Back in a moment.
Saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stifel Nicholas can assist you. Call Fort Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
Welcome back. So my quick story, because it's old school, okay, and how times have changed. Remember, I graduated high school. This spring will be 45 years ago. I'm sorry, 44 years ago. And so back in the day, there was a kid, and I wish I could remember his last name. His first name was Chuck. He was a running back from Burlington Cummings. He didn't make the Shrine Bowl. He made the East-West game. And there was, I don't think he wasn't on Shrine Bowl because he'd been on my team. East-West game, played against him. There was a rule back then, okay, for the Shrine Bowl. Mm-hmm. In the Shrine Bowl, an East-West game, you could have no facial hair. Your hair could not be over your ears, and it could not hang out of your helmet.
Right.
Those were rules, period.
Right.
He didn't follow those rules.
Okay.
And they didn't make him do anything. Caused a lot of uncomfortableness with a lot of the players that were on team, because I had a pretty crappy, 70s porn mustache back then, but I shaved it because that's what they made you do. And I did have the hair back then, and I had to cut it. Plus, back then, in wrestling, your hair could not be touching your collar, and it couldn't be over your ears, and you could have no facial hair. And when you did your pre-match, the official, even to the point that he would take a credit card, and he better not hear anything, and they would check your fingernails.
Oh yeah, right.
And the hair, everything. That they were very, very strict about that, but. The All-Star games kind of had those rules, there were certain
also had standards and
we
rules.
We don't do that anymore.
Yeah, we might hurt somebody's feelings.
And that's right.
Yeah.
And,
can't do that.
And I'm not going to say anything else about it. I'm just going to say.
Talk all day about it. All day.
I'm just going to say.
The tide's going to turn, baby. Enough's enough.
Yeah. I'm just going to say. Let's see here. Bob said this round is when a team's defense has to be equal or better than their offense in order to advance.
That's a good point.
Richie said, I just looked at NC State playoff brackets. I see Clinton is still being Clinton. They had a kid there that I played with in the Shrine Bowl. His name was Dennis Owens. And Dennis, I was strong side defensive tackle. Dennis was our nose guard, ran a 5.2 back then. And when you did the All-Star games, you were limited in what you could run and blitzing and those kind of things. Because you only had a week to do it.
Right.
Dennis was the only kid that got two-way playing time in the Shrine Bowl because they wanted to see him. He was a man, super nice guy, but he was from Clinton. He played for the Clinton Dark Horses. Clinton is still being Clinton. Milton said Aaron Rodgers looked a little unhappy last night. I don't get into the Prime Network. I forget about it. So I watched Tulane and SMU, and Tulane laid the smackdown on SMU. It was ugly. Stephen, good morning. Did the Packers play last night and get beat?
No, I didn't see the end of it.
Okay. I guess that's what they're alluding to, maybe.
I didn't see that. I think I went to bed at like halftime.
Yeah,
but
27-17.
Well, the Titans were, Derrick Henry, But I think, when I was watching earlier the game.
Wait a minute. Let me pause just one second. Aaron Rodgers takes the blame for the Wobblers in the Pack loss. Aaron Rodgers has never taken the blame for anything. Now go ahead with Derrick Henry. First 1,000 yards as a Tennessee Titan.
Oh, yeah. No, I was just going to say, I hadn't seen headlines or anything, but last night he You know, and we all know how good and how big he is. But last night, there was a reason. If Tennessee was to win that game, there was a reason for it. And that guy last night, I think they turned the ball over on downs one time early in the game. Excuse me, they were like 7-6, and they couldn't get a first down. Boy, Derrick Henry, I've never seen him hot. Oh, he was mad. He was furious he didn't get that first down.
He's a man.
I don't think that happened the rest of the night. Just got to throw it out there.
He's a man. He's a man.
But I enjoy watching him play, you know, because I think he, you know, people a lot of times in athletes like, oh, he should do that. I think you can see how hard he's worked his whole life to be the best he can be. And he still goes out there, even after signing contracts and doing this, he still goes out there and gives everything he has and is the best professional possible. I just have a lot of admiration for, you know, for people that go about their business, that have a long-term approach in everything they do, that are not out there to get mine, right? That, you know, are trying to be helpful in the grand scheme of things. And what I've noticed is people like that have an attitude of gratitude instead of an attitude of entitlement.
Yes.
And what's so sad is you can see the attitude of entitlement, but yet the other athletes that do the same thing will not look and reflect upon how bad it's worked out for people like Le'Veon Bell, people like Anthony Brown or Antonio Brown, you know, that have these, you know, this. Well, I'm gonna get mine. It's all about me. I don't see where following someone like that and saying that they're doing the right thing or did the right thing, and then you repeat it with your actions because you want to get yours. I think in life it's about us getting ours, and how do we do that together? And you know, we all make mistakes and we try to learn from them, but once a mistake, twice a habit. And you know, there's a lot of habits going on right now, and so your teams and your players that are most dependable are the ones that will take extreme ownership of everything.
Yep.
No matter if it's their fault or not.
And the problem now is nobody wants to take ownership of anything.
Well, it's not
good or bad.
No, because we're in a blame of everybody else's fault.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Things, whether it be in our country, around the world, or just, you know, human beings, mankind, whatever you want to, you know, whatever. Things shift, okay? Because, you know, it's just the way of the world. And to think that things are never going to rebound to the way that they were or used to be, and not that they should, I'm just saying it's just the way of the world, is not accurate.
Oh, yeah.
You know, think of it with history. Why is history so important? So we don't repeat the mistakes of the past. You know, I heard something the other day that I thought was very profound is you know, we tend to repeat the mistakes of our grandparents and not our parents. And what does that mean? I have not heard that. Yeah. So, well, we were having a discussion about what type of inflation it is, you know, and again, this is
that because you have it's an older memory?
Yeah. So you tend to not make the same mistakes on things that are considered current within the last, you know, 20 to 40 years, but you repeat maybe mistakes or occurrences that were outside of your realm of scope or understanding, right, you know, for your life experience, right? So, you know, we all look at things, so I'm never going to do it that way. I'm never going to be like this. Well, the great generational disruptor that we had were these. And it doesn't make them wrong. What happened was children in life since the beginning of time have always tried to strive to be like the parents and grandparents. And what happened was when these things were introduced into society, all of a sudden children took the lead and parents and grandparents were trying to strive to be like the kids so they could catch up to technology.
To mastering technology.
Right. So now what you see is the mastering of technology has come to fruition, and now things are starting to get, you know, scaled back to the kids aspiring to be like, but we had a generational skip. And anytime you have a generational skip, the people that think they're most important are going to act like they're most important. So look at the generation right now that thinks that they, you know, that well, anyway. So again, you can see it in sports as well. But the one thing you can never get away from in sport that is the great leveler is competition. Yeah. You can train as hard as you want, but you still got to go out and compete. You cannot train at all, but you still got to go out and compete. and you can't hide from competition.
Proof's in the pudding.
Right. And so what happens is you don't, like Grant, talks about a lot of times with the kids in the lab, you don't rise to the occasion. You fall to the level of your preparation and training, and that's where you can expect to be. That's called consistency. All right, it's not tonight we got to really step it up. We got to do that. No. Anybody that says that does not understand the process of training or athletics. They're just repeating something they've heard, which 97% of the people in the United States play the game follow the follower anyway. Okay?
Well,
that's okay. It doesn't make them bad or wrong. It just is what it is.
So you got to
understand the process. That's why there's a need for these things.
There's not a lot of what you call pure coaching happens on game day.
Yeah.
Because it's too late.
Yeah.
It's got to be done before you get there. You may make adjustments and tweak based on what you saw, but the basic coaching philosophy of how you're going to do things and handle things, especially from a fundamental standpoint, have to be done before you get to the game.
No, that's right. I mean, it's like Bunker Hill. Like, I've been working on Bunker Hill since last Wednesday, okay? Now, they may go out tonight and score 150 points. That's fine. But what I'm talking about is I have done my very best to prepare for our next opponent, who just happened to be Bunker Hill. You say, well, yeah, but you guys had to play Mount Pleasant last week. Yes, but I ran the numbers and saw the probabilities of what we needed to do, and I was good by Wednesday.
But you already had your game plan in for –
That's what I'm talking about. So it's not that I quit, and I thought we were just going to beat Mount Pleasant. I had done all I could do at that point based on the information I had.
Right.
So now it's time for me to go, if I'm going to truly be helpful, which is I'm a volunteer, so, whatever. Yeah, that's all I want to do is help with a accountability standard that's probably a little too high. But anyway, I want to try to be the best I can be for the kids and the community I'm representing. So I started working on it. Now, again, Lanny, they may score 150 points tonight. But, the point is, you have to go on the data and in what you see, in all of this. And our kids are extremely receptive. We have no issues with our kids about who's in charge, about what is asked of them. I don't, our coaches do a good job. We don't disrespect the kids when we coach them. We coach them really hard. But every one of them know, and they've been hearing this since they were 6, don't care about your feelings. I care about your growth and development. Now, what is true is I care about their social and emotional health very much. But I clear through the mess at a young age. And I don't care if anybody likes that or not.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a Mario Cristobal.
Go ahead.
And I saw this and did a little reading. Richie said the Mario Cristobal that kind of went viral a little bit. This is a quote. He said, "A parent is free and welcome to pick up their son if they're not happy with their playing
They're
time."
18 years old.
That's correct.
What are we talking about? Oh, they're kids. No. They are young adults, all right? And at some point, now listen, if somebody's being mistreated, let me tell you something, brother. That's a different story. Yeah. And I don't care if it's a kid or if not you, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. If I feel like somebody's doing it to you, we're going to step in front of that. Not that you couldn't, but you know what I'm saying. I'm right there with you. But when it's things like that, come on. My dad, I wasn't a starting quarterback at Eastburg as a junior in high school and was arguably the best athlete in the school. I told my dad, I said, I'm going to go to, I maybe said South Caldwell or something because I like the boys up there. They played hard and they were good friends of mine and baseball guys. Dad's like, nope, you're going to get better. He's like, you're not a better option quarterback than Todd is. He said, you can throw the ball. There's no doubt about that, but you're not as good as Todd Decker, who's my best friend. He's a year older. He said, what you need to do is get better. You need to stop crying about it and get better. I was like, whoa, man, because ain't nobody ever told me to get better.
You're the only one. You're the only one that can control where you're going.
Well, and my dad, what my dad was talking about? There's a book written by 2 Navy SEALs that's an incredible book, and basically what it talks about is extreme ownership. Okay, but in order for you, and extreme ownership is incredibly liberating, because anything that happens in my life, I just basically say it's my fault. It is
to some extent.
I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And after reading that book and reading it, listening to it on Audible, okay, and trying, and playing it over and just understanding what is going on and the process of how things work, it's incredibly liberating to say, you know what, it's my fault. I'm gonna handle it. Instead of spending all my energy deflecting and going, I'm doing the best I can do. I'm so sorry. No, nobody cares. Okay, no, they don't. So you got to get up and do your job. It's like this thing talking about kids, come pick them up. Are you kidding me? Dude, I'll help you set them out. If you're still nursing them
that's
like
the
that.
way that's the way it should be. Yeah, that's the way it should be.
But you know what? If you have relationships with your kids, like every kid in the Maiden locker room, I can tell you whether or not they know what they want to do after high school, what plans they may have. Now, those things may change. But developing relationships is so critical and so important, to the overall growth and development of kids. Because they need to understand that
genuine interest.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Todd said, a wise old man told me once, nothing good comes quickly. Greatness takes time. And, of course, Milton came back with the old, when no one plans to fail, they fail to plan. And that is so true. Chad said we could have used a good lefty his senior year.
Chad's a year old. He and Darren, those guys are a year older than me, but I would tell you what. Those guys, we were fierce competitors and would go at each other stuff. But I love those guys. I had a lot of respect for them. And I'll tell you this: we were playing against South Caldwell. Chad was a senior. We were at our place, and they put me and a couple of the backups in later in the game. And I think we were up by a score, and maybe one score and drive, and it's towards the end of the game. And our coach had called a pass, and I rolled out to my right and then threw one, and kid caught it in the end zone or whatever. And so went up by a score or two, and then we ended up getting the ball back later in the game. Well, they had this big defensive end. I can't remember his name. His nickname was Booger. But I ran the option to the left, which I was a terrible option quarterback. It's awful. So I ran out there, and right as I got ready to pitch it, he hit me, and it was something in the head. I don't know if it was his forearm or his helmet or anything. But I'm going to tell you what. When I tried to get back to the sideline was in front of me. I was running this way but straight up. The ground was doing this. I mean, it was back. That's probably a grade 88 concussion today, like they put you out the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. But I'm sitting there, I can't make it back to the bench, to the coach. I can't get there. I'm running this way. You can see it. I'm trying to get there, and I'm running.
You just got your bell rung.
That's what they said. Did you get your bell rung, big boy? I said, oh, yeah. Man, I couldn't eat for 3 days. I was so sick. But today, and that may be what's wrong with me today.
I'm going to take a break, and when we come back, I'll go over and tell you kind of how we split on our little picks that we do. Back in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver, or visit MooneyInsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stifel Nicholas can assist you. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
And welcome back. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
27 degrees now.
Feeling good.
Still below freezing. Going to be cold till Thanksgiving. And I think it's going to get low 60s. Maybe some rain coming in on Thanksgiving night. And then on Friday, looks good for the parade here in Maiden on
Saturday.
Here?
Yep, Saturday. Next Saturday.
Really?
The parade's on Saturday.
There's no snow.
Oh, yeah, man.
Forecast.
Yeah.
No, there's not. I done looked ahead. It's like it never rains in Southern California. It doesn't snow in Maiden. All right, let me give you these picks. We were unanimous. Everybody was unanimous on East Lincoln over Ledford. Everyone was unanimous. Maiden over Bunker.
Really?
Only had two people to pick Chase over Reedsville. You were one of them.
Who's the other one?
Andrew.
Absolutely. Hey, my ride or die, baby. My ride or die.
Dabo's oldest child. Everybody picked Burns over Salisbury.
Yeah.
Everybody picked South Point over Crest.
Interesting. Everybody
picked Kings Mountain over West Charlotte. Now the split comes on Drone, Thomasville. The rest of the games are split.
The Wildcats, baby.
Okay, Drone, Thomasville is a 6-4. There's 10 of us in the group.
Okay.
6 out of 10 picked Thomasville.
I understand that.
6 out of 10 picked Monroe.
Whoa.
6 out of 10 picked West Guilford. And
no, they're not. That
West Henderson.
Over who?
I'm sorry,
East.
West Henderson over Eastern Guilford.
Okay, no, yeah, that's right.
And then the Butler and AC Reynolds,
can't see the board,
straight down the middle, 5-5.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I can, but I can understand that. I mean, Butler's a Charlotte school. They play severe, lethal competition all year long.
Yep.
Reynolds plays a very good schedule. They played Shelby this year, who, for all intents and purposes, for Shelby had a down year, but it's still Shelby. Okay, and they've had a couple of really big wins, so it should be an issue.
And I will say this: Butler put the hammer down on Mooresville last week. That's who they beat to advance.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I think Mooresville had one loss up to that
They
point.
have. That's right. That's right.
Todd Herm said a driving ban has been issued for Buffalo, New York.
It's like
historic
6 feet
form.
of snow or 5 or 4 or something.
Off
something
the lake
like
effect. They moved that game. They moved that game to Detroit. It is Cleveland and Buffalo, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. There's no, as good as they are up there, there's no way that place is going to be passable by Sunday with what's going on, because it's lake effect, right? It comes and it goes. It comes and it goes.
And it's really just within so many miles of the lakes when it comes across there. I watched I saw it this morning. They were running on CBS News. like the projected precipitation is rolled in.
It's crazy,
and it's
man.
like it's not but 30, 40 miles something off the lakes is all it is, but it just hammers.
I got a friend that lives up there and a client that lives, they don't know each other, but they're about a mile and a half from each other, right? Several years ago, they had 3 feet of snow. The one client did at his house. The other guy had a dusting.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how intense.
All that stuff around the lakes is like that.
And I'm sure that's
Especially
an
Western
extreme
New York.
case. But I found that very interesting.
Yeah.
Because, come on, but anyway.
Listen, Todd, it's bad when you move anything to Detroit.
Whoa!
But it's indoor. It must have been available.
Oh, yeah. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
My wife said, "Go Big Blue."
That's
Richie
right,
said,
baby.
Talking about 6
That's right,
feet
baby.
and 5 feet. Nick Chubb's 5'11", Devin Singletary's 5'7", so it almost be over their
It's going
head.
to be over their heads, buddy.
Now, I don't know. I
Holy
asked
cow.
Juju this when I saw him, when I talked to him yesterday. Wednesday night, I watched some MAC football.
Yeah.
Central
I did
Michigan.
too. I did too.
And it was snowing,
Oh,
and
it's
the
so
stadium
cold
was
up there.
full.
It
was unbelievable.
Well, I was talking I got some friends that live up in north of Minneapolis, right? And they just talked about, wintertime's like their favorite time of year. I'm like, you people are crazy. I love snow as much as anybody, but cold and all that, like, no, that's what we do. We get out and we have recreational activities, and
I
that's
told
just our life.
this story before.
Like, y'all are
I
crazy.
made 2 trips to Wisconsin for work. Had to fly into Minneapolis. And when you fly into Minneapolis, this was the couple weeks, the week after and then the following week after Thanksgiving, there's snowmobiles is what you see when you get to the airport. Here, it's boats and jet skis because of Lake Norman. Up there, it's snowmobiles. Yeah. And it was the first place. I was in a little place called Augusta, Wisconsin. The closest, about 125 miles southwest of Minneapolis. The closest city was Eau Claire.
Oh, yeah.
That was of any size.
Oh, yeah.
And in Augusta, very small town, pretty good size Amish community. You don't drink tea at lunch; you drink a beer.
Right.
German descent.
Yes, yeah.
And then the other thing that I had never seen that kind of stunned me, and I knew that I did not want to be up there in the dead of winter. They had plug-in receptacles in the parking lot
for their
to plug the cars,
vehicles, right?
To heat the block so it would crank and not freeze.
I was flying out of St. Louis maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I had never flown through. I had to divert. We had to go to Detroit and then back to North Carolina. That's just the way that.
Yeah.
I'm always. I don't like flying.
Me either.
I have a little bit of anxiety about it.
I don't have fear. It's just I'm not crazy about it.
Well, the point is I like the one way and then that's it. Just let's get it done and be done. What was interesting was about the last 20 miles, for whatever reason, we had to fly in low to Michigan. All right, and it was real cloudy and it was springtime, but it was not cold. But what I found so interesting was all the farmland that is there going into Detroit. I didn't know that there was a lot of farmland, and I just saw fields and fields.
I'll give you another example. I don't know the interstate that I drove out of Minneapolis down.
Right.
But once you left the city of Minneapolis, it was just miles and miles of farms.
And pristine beauty.
Just
green,
dotted. And it was
crazy.
old family farms.
Yes,
and you could buy any of them with the cows, the tractors, and everything for $100,000.
Right.
But it was beautiful country,
incredible.
just as flat as it could be. And you know how we have dead rabbits and squirrels on the road? Up there, it was deer.
Right.
Everywhere, because it's just such open land.
It's so pristine and beautiful up there. Like my brothers, when they were in, not youth league, but little league stuff, they went and played in a national tournament north of Minneapolis, and just north of it, and I think it's called Burnsville, Minnesota. And they're playing with some kids from Catawba County or whatever, and this is back in '93, I believe. And that's the first time I had ever basically been anywhere, okay? And we took a road trip. Grandfather went with us. Took us a couple of days to get up there, that kind of thing. All packed up in this big conversion van. That's crazy. Watched The Princess Bride about 65 times, whatever. But anyway, so what I noticed is going through like Eau Claire and all those, right? But what I noticed is once we got up there, how pristine and beautiful and clean everything was. Like the lakes up there. I know it's called the land of 10,000 lakes and all that, but it was incredible.
Yeah.
And it was obviously different types of trees and things like this. This is in early August. But Laney, it was incredible how clean things were. It was amazing.
And I thought it was beautiful country
it's incredible.
when I was up there.
Yeah.
Todd
Anyway,
said in Maine last winter it snowed 11.5 inches, 4 degrees, whiteout conditions, and school was not canceled.
Yeah, they had stuff to do.
Nothing was closed.
Yeah.
Streets were totally clear the next morning. Now, the difference is, and it's the same thing in the mountains of North Carolina with snow. It's not a wet snow. It's a dry snow.
It
blows most of the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't ice up like it does here.
Yeah, it's interesting. Up there, I worked at Avery County Schools, which is I would say it's the highest
Snow
elevation.
Mecca.
It is. It's the highest elevation in North Carolina as far as the system goes. Totally. All right, all the way around. They have the most snow days of anybody. And what I found out we're letting out of school at 10 o'clock in the morning. Well, they still had wrestling practice and basketball practice. And I was the AD. And I went to the principal. I said, "Have you lost your mind?" She's like, "No, it's okay, honey." She said, "They can practice as long as they can get home safely." I was like, "It's a blizzard out there." She said, No. These kids have grown up in this.
Yeah,
She's like,
it's
and she wasn't making fun of me.
It's different.
She was explaining it to me. She said, "It's okay. If any of them live in certain areas, they know that they have to go on home." She said, "But most of these kids that are here are okay, and their parents are okay."
Yeah.
Well, the kids didn't drive. The parents came pick them up. No big deal, and they went home.
Yeah. I had a friend
I was like, what in the heck?
I graduated with in high school, and two of these guys, they were both good friends of mine, they went in the Air Force on the buddy program. They did their basics in Colorado, and then they got shipped out.
Right.
One guy got sent to Panama and became an air traffic controller.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay. The other guy, he got shipped to Bangor, Maine.
Oh.
I remember him telling the story. It was like the 3rd or 4th week of September that he flew in there, and he said within a week it was the last time he saw the ground till late April.
Till late April.
Because it just snowed, and he was a third shift weapons operation guy loading planes at night.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was a different world.
Our former superintendent here in Catawba County Schools, Dr. Tim Markley, I got to know him pretty well. His boy John's the baseball coach out at West Lincoln, and I coached John at the Legion team in Hickory. Well, I didn't know who Tim was, and I said, "Hey, I need 2 dads to help me this year." Man, that dude come flying down them steps. He couldn't wait. He had enough. And Michael White was telling me, that's our superintendent. I said, "Are you serious?" But anyway, point being, great guy. And he is from Maine. And
Really?
he told me, yeah.
Oh,
and
that's
he
a
told
different
me,
place, yeah.
And that's what he was saying. He said, the extreme heat that's down here in the summer, people navigate and they're fine with. He said, if we had that heat up there, it'd be like you guys getting snow down there. Everything was shut down because there's no air conditioning. There's no. He said, so you got to remember, even though things look extreme, it's all about perspective on where you live. He said when he would go up there to visit his parents, there would be 2 weeks out of the year where you really needed air conditioning, we were close to 90, and that was it. He said, so you just kind of either bought an air conditioner and survived it, through that, or you just ran fans and pushed it through. He said most cars up there that are sold for local people don't have AC in them.
When I was in school,
Interesting.
When I was
like
in
my
school
truck in high school
in Boone, we didn't have air conditioning in the
right.
dorms.
Well, I didn't have
in
it in
the
East Carolina. I didn't have it in
anything.
East Carolina.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go ahead and tell you.
Yeah. That's a different.
I'm going to tell you.
You needed it down there. You needed air conditioning.
Lanny,
East Carolina.
oh my goodness.
Greenville, South Carolina. Greenville, North Carolina's a little hot. It's not Columbia hot.
Yeah, it
But
is. Yes, it is.
Come
yes,
on
it is.
now.
No. I have lived in both places,
Okay.
and I'm telling you that you could be dropped in the middle of both of them, and you couldn't tell if you were in Greenville, North Carolina, or Columbia, South Carolina. Now I'm telling you, a lot of people say, "Oh no, Columbia's so much hotter." Let me tell you something. I've lived in both. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I've lived there. Oh my God.
Columbia's just bad news. That's all.
Oh, well, yeah, on multiple levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're out of here. Good luck tonight.
Go Blue.
Get one. Richie says Columbia is a hole. It is. Home of the chicken.
Got a lot of great family and friends down there, and a lot, all this stuff. But Man, it's interesting.
East Lincoln, Ledford on WLON, 7 o'clock tonight. David Keever, Michael Powell have the call. Then the boys will be in here in the morning, 8 to 10 to wrap it all up. We'll be back Monday night. Juju will be back in studio. Have a great weekend, everybody.